a leader is in here. He's going to come out in you.
The only thing we just rely on is election campaign, and then we bring up leaders. To the point of
it's from my village.
The legislature supposed to come up.
Christian. You understand? They go to churches, they go to mosques.
No. That's one of that's the problem we have. That's the problem we have.
But there's money in the country, just that we don't invest. We don't try to make money.
Every human being, we want more than less in economic theory.
Hey, very good morning to you all. It is weekend and it is the weekly bulletin. What do we do here? This is where we're going to take a look at all that has happened within the week. But today, I decided to round up this week by kind of looking at the solution to the Nigerian problem. Because somebody said there's no solution. And no. Anything that can be identified must be. That's why I said we are the one killing ourselves. As long as we know that death is a challenge, then it can be solved. So any problem can be solved. The question is, how do we look at the Nigerian problem? Today, I use the word to regenerate Nigeria. When I use the word regenerate, let us when you have something, you shuffle it, so that maybe we'll get something very, very beautiful out of it. Well, as usual, I'm not going to be alone on the studio today. I think my people are still trying to get on the studio, but Mary is already here with me. Let me see what I have been quickly. Mary, you are still trying to get on with that. You're already here. Mary is always correct. So Mary, tell them I'm going to in Asaba to do the right thing. How are you?
Fine. Good morning, Daddy Chris.
Morning. I think you guys must be very free of me for these few days. You guys don't have my trouble. Now you guys were free. Let's see whether we can add Asaba immediately to the show. No time to waste. Morning, Asaba. No, not today. Asaba, you guys, in fact, we're going to find a way to deal with Asaba so that from next week, because anything that is happening again and again, and we are not solving it, it's just like the Nigerian problem. We get to solve it. There is always a solution to every problem that is identified. And that's what we're going to try and do today. Today, I try to be very, very critical. I want us to look at the Nigerian state. I would love to take on Ubaka a lot here because Ubaka is always of the belief. Let's go back to the three regions. We are not, you see, Mary, one thing I always say to people is, anytime people cry for anything, what are they crying for? They are crying for the economy of it. Unknowing to them, if your wife is fighting you at home, if you listen carefully, the major cause of the problem, na money. I like Mary. I don't really know what to talk about this.
Sometimes it's not money. The man is not giving her peace.
We'll come to that. Money, Asaba.
Morning, London.
Yes. I can see we are set. I said it's a great day. I was just asking Mary that when people sometimes have issues, they keep, like the Nigerian issue, for instance, all we are talking about really is how we can put money on, how we can make more money, how we can be better off as a people. And 90% of it boils down to the money and the money and the money. So today, when we talk about regenerating the Nigeria, which is the topic of today, I want us to look at it from that economic aspect. Because if we regenerate Nigeria politically, we have done that. Let me say we've regenerated Nigeria. We were 3 regions, it went to 4 regions, now we're 36 regions. Those were agitations. We're 36 today plus the FCT. So we've regenerated Nigeria. The question is, have we regenerated Nigeria economically? That's the issue of today. And I will take few minutes to just make my argument, and I know you guys will have a lot to say. But let me remind the backer one thing he said. That we should go back to the old system, old Nigeria, where it was like 3 regions, and everybody putting money to the central. And I said, yes, that's a very good thing to do. So if you have 3 children, because the population of Nigeria then, we were talking about 50 million or maybe less. But today, we are about 300 million. Meaning more money for the economy, more money for the people. You see, it's always good. It's better. Nigeria is blessed, man. When I think of the potential of the Nigerian state, I see the population as a huge potential. Number one, is bigger. Our strength with the young people, with the population of Nigeria, with the youth market, you can't get it wrong. But we're still lagging behind. Maybe we've not even looked at that yet. How can we use this population to our advantage? Anyway, my case is this. If as at the time we were just 3 regions and few people who were doing well, I'm not sure the population of the then Western region is actually more than the population of Lagos today. I want us to think a little bit. It might be more, but the then Western region were very small. They were not, you know how many people we had then? Now everywhere is populated. Only Lagos have about 20 something million people. It's not up to 40 million in Lagos state alone. So that is a huge population compared to. So if we say let's go back to them, meaning Lagos represent the then Western region, the then Western region. And let's come to Midwest. As at the time Midwest was created, it was a very tiny state. The population of Delta State today would have covered the whole people in the then Midwest region. So when we say let's go back to that time, we are actually saying that Delta State should be like Midwest. Lagos should be like Western region. Only the population of Katsina or maybe even Sokoto, with all them the Sokoto vote, especially Kano, only Kano is equal to the entire population of the northern region as at the time we're talking about. Now, if we now think well, if we think along my argument, it means now that we have 36 instead of 4, or instead of 3, as it were. Because now we have the FCT, which makes it even more, 37. So, if you have 37 as against 4, is that not a strength? Now, maybe we should think again. The economy of that time we're arguing, the economy of Lagos now can't be more than that of Western region. Lagos has openly said that only Lagos GDP is higher than that of Kenya. That is untapped. You can imagine if Lagos potential is fully tapped. Lagos alone will be waking up a lot of money. The same like Delta. So we sit down today and we look, we're sitting on what I call gold mine. But we're hungry. The thing doesn't add up in my book. And for me to make my little case clear, I just put some statistics on the table and I want to quickly run through it with us. I said, well, the conclusion, let me conclude. My conclusion in my return statement is that if we return to what work, which is agriculture work for us there, and regional strength. That's the thing Banker said, regional strength. So we now, instead of looking at 3 regions, we're now looking at 37 regions. Those are regional strength. So let's not look at South as a region. Each state is today a region. I want to make it clear. Not the geographical zone. No. Each state in Nigeria is a qualified region. Meaning we have 37 regions as it is today. Now, if we leverage on that, with the youth and the minerals, I said Nigeria will not just grow. We will dominate the world stage. We will be a force to reckon with. Now, how do we achieve that? Let's look at, go back to memory lane. The Western region we're talking about were built on cocoa, education, and infrastructure. As of 1960, cocoa was generating over 70% of Nigerian GDP. Cocoa. Do you have cocoa today? We don't have any cocoa in Nigeria now. We even import chocolate. Yeah, I know we don't have. Ghana is still doing a little bit of cocoa. I doubt if there's any cocoa farm in this Yoruba area. My parents went to. My grandfather was in Akure. All he was doing there was cocoa farm. Then, today, I'm very sure nobody I'm talking to now, when I talk about cocoa to them, Mary, is alien to them. I'm going to quickly run through it. The Eastern region then, they have palm oil and coal. You know why we call the coal city? Enugu was called the coal city. Why? As we say, as of 1950, what I picked on the internet is that 60% of the world palm oil were coming from there. They were contributing a lot. I mean, not the world. All right. Now, let's go quickly. to the northern region, which is the Baba Baba Baba. See, they had granite. The cotton export dominated it. That was granite pyramid. You all heard about that. The Kano granite pyramid symbolized prosperity then. What we're saying is that if you imagine how much we're coming from there. Now, we're not look today, we're looking at this. Now, imagine if every state in Nigeria today, now maybe Delta State, as at this time I'm talking now, there was no oil. Let's declare there was no oil. Yet Nigeria was progressing. We were feeding ourselves. In fact, we were forced to reckon with on the world stage. Let me just say, when as at the time Midwest was created, which is the Midwest now producing a lot of oil for the country. As at the time it was created, there was no oil. The only thing they had were rubber and timber. If you come to my place then, there was the palm oil. People, in fact, if you grow up in my place, we go and tap rubber. That's some of us that went to school. You tap rubber, you go and sell the lump, and you have enough money. Most of us that didn't go to school in my village, that was one of the reasons they didn't go to school. When you just go and you tap your rubber, you go and sell. You cross the river, you go and buy a bicycle, you get a wife. You don't need to go to school. People in the in the other part of my local government, they didn't have the opportunity to sell their own. They were forced to make their own into kind of rubber sheet before they could sell. It wasn't very great, so they went to school. As at the time I was going to school, they were the teachers. The teachers that taught in my area, they were from that part of the local government. They were Orobo people. And I want to say it. The first Ogara teacher I remember was our headmaster, Mr. Otoku, headmaster. When we were growing up, I will sing a lot today. But let me not go body with that because it's going to be too local. What am I trying to say? That if Nigeria, I want to quickly sum this because I don't have a lot of time. 12 minutes is a lot. If Nigeria, as at that time, banking on regions, only 4 regions could make us as rich as we were without oil. Imagine what we can do today now that we know that we have minerals. We have oil. We can grow in agriculture. In fact, as I was putting these things down here, they said only 233 million. I know many people here will agree with me that we are more than 33 million people. Now, this is the World Bank, the PwC projected that if Nigerian agro business is tapped by year 2030, we will generate 1 trillion only from the agri sector. And I think that is even an insult. But you know what $1 trillion is? Are we on the path to progress? The question is, do we even recognize it? Is Tinubu government thinking along this line? These are things we need to ask. Is your governor thinking well? It's a question. It might be insulting to them today, but these are questions that need to be asked. They said that we can generate 1 trillion from agriculture by 2030, not far again. This is 2025, 2026, 27, 28, 29. 5 years. Can we be making 1 trillion? How much are we generating today? No vessel. Each state you specialize. This is the projection. Just in at least 2 cash crop, only 2 for us to achieve this. Only 2 cash crop. We know say Benue dey good for yam. Kebbi get rice, Ondo should go back to cocoa. That's the Yoruba we know. The Akure, I just mentioned how my grandfather went there. I was not born then. But my father would tell us he brought some of the seeds to Ugara and he was having his own cocoa farm. That is the movement. People were migrating from my place to the west to go and farm cocoa. I'm just talking, well, then, of course, we're not going to do that without investment in mechanization. If you're expecting my grandmother to go to the farm and use the cutlass to do the farm, I don't know how the word for that. Look at what they said. Nigeria have only 50,000 tractors, only 50,000. You know how much our governors spend for their girlfriends alone? We have only 50,000 trucks. India have 4 million tractors. Okay, how do you clear the farms? Some of these things are basic, man. You see the ones in Delta State, they take a do figure. Maybe they just say the governor they invest. Okowa did some, take picture with her. Now let me talk today. All right. Ah, we need to do some in processing. But let's leave that agri sector. Let's look at mining. They said mining, Nigerian mining sector could generate 27 billion annually by 2025. This year, which year are we married?
2025.
My people, how much are we generating from mining? And sometimes it look as if it's a joke. Now, only Nasarawa alone, if we have the factory there, that's what they propose. State-owned mining. Maybe we will be making 27 billion. That is more than our budget as at this time. Only minerals. So let me quickly go to the end of this. And they say, okay, if I continue, we will not stop. You know, my concern is this: a country that can be richer. If America want to talk to us, oh man, Mary, you see, let me explain this to Nigerians. We mind the way we talk to our wives in the UK. Mary, why? Do you know why?
Because
It's
you
not
know that
out of respect.
it's their law. You have to obey it.
It's not the law alone. The woman has money in her pocket. She's not waiting for you to feed her. Mary, you see, when a woman have her money, there's a way the man will be talking to her. Let these two men come. When a woman stand, gidigba, when your husband will be calling you madam. You know, when a woman have money, your husband will call her madam. You mind the way you talk to her. That's why we don't talk to our wife anyhow here. The truth is they are empowered. They have their money in their pocket. They're not waiting for you to feed them. You misbehave, you are out. They are overdoing it now. But Mary, the only reason they can stand for themselves is because they have money. Nigerians, Africans, Nigeria, let's focus on Nigeria today. We have no money. So we are talking like a child at the worst stage. Donald Trump says something, it will shake you. China says something, it will shake Nigeria. India says do something, it will shake us. Hey! The only reason is not because they're going to come and beat us. They've never thrown bomb at us. We don't have money. When I say we don't have money, it makes a little bit sense. We refuse to be productive. I said in my report this morning, Engineer Marshall said this is a call for help. I am begging Nigerians. This is more than important. With the way we are going, what are we leaving for the next generation? I'm going to be quiet because I will keep talking and talking and I'm tired. I want the engineers, the journalists, the beautiful young lady who is young enough to think with me and let us crack a solution to Nigerian problem. The problem is not even, it's more than corruption. You see, how will I put it? The corruption is, how much are these idiots even taking? How much are they stealing? Small money. The truth is we are not making money. We are not even making it. We are only fighting for small money coming from oil. We're not making money. And when we say, before I talk to any Nigerian, oh, well, corrupt politicians. Yes, I know. Corrupt politicians. Yes, I know. But we don't even have money. So the little ones they have is what they, you see, let me put it this way. I didn't want to go into that part of our history. But do you know that a point in Nigeria, these two men with me here, we know there was a time Nigeria paid Udoji. The man that run the program, his name was Udoji, so they call it Udoji. When Nigeria has so much money, they didn't know what to do, so they begin to pay our workers. They pay them times 2. Because we have money, Mary. We have so much money, we build first stack. So When you have money, which papa will get money, you know, will give his children. Wait, let's now Nigerians, let's clear. Are you saying Tinubu have a lot of money and he's just taking it for himself? He doesn't have it. Obodiwari, I look at him, I don't like his style of governance. But if Obodi have all the money, he will share it. In my place, they say, if man get money, you know, see the way he dress, the kind babe when he carry, the food he eat, money cannot hide. What? Money is something you cannot hide. If you have money, it will show in your dress, in the food you eat, the car you drive, the home you live, the money will come out. Do you look at your governor? Do they look like people have money? They don't. I know this is a little flashy lifestyle we see. No, we like all these things, but the truth is they don't have money. You see, they are struggling. They are struggling. So I want to end my case here this morning. And an engineer, I'm going to start with engineer. Engineer, I remember when I was drawing my last piece, I said no. Engineer said this is a cry for help. So I think it's very well. This is more than a cry for help. Nigeria needs to be the time is now.
Thank you very much. Yeah, very wonderful morning, Mary, and very wonderful morning to everyone watching us. And basically, the opening salvo is would make people like about Macaulay, people like Nnamdi Azikiwe, people like Tafawa Balewa, our traditional fighters for the emancipation or for the actualization of our independence. And that is something I weep for. I want to try to link the regions to the states and to bring us to bear in the diversity and the reality of what is on ground. You actually made a very good reference to when we had six regions: Northeast region, the Northwest region, the Midwest region, the Eastern region, and the Western region, I think. And at that time, when we had those regions, it was basically about building Nigeria. We have nationalists at that time, post independence and post independence. We have nationalists who had a love for their vision, who had a love for Nigeria, who had a love for the actualization of our independence. It's just like a father that builds an estate. Of course, at the time of building, at the when you're finishing the building, you are passionate about the building. You go, you supervise, you see that the structures, the beams are okay, the structures are okay, and of course, you carry your family. Everybody's excited. But in the course of wear and tear and over time of staying in the building, you might fall out of love with that building if you don't show love to that building. That is what the Nigerian context is all about right now. A nationalist came with a vision of creating a Nigeria of oneness, a Nigeria that was going to bring people together, a Nigeria where we are not looking at tribe, we are not looking at religion, we are looking at how to come together in our diversity and bring uniformity to bear on the nationhood of our country. They are leaders, nationalists at that time, our politicians. I call them nationalists, but they have transformed to become true. They were politicians, but they were nationalistic politicians who had and they were their kind of politics was ideologically based. We had the NCNC, National Council for Nigeria and the Cameroons. We had the one in the south. I've forgotten now that Awolowo was leading. Action Congress. We have the Action Congress in the southwest.
Action Congress.
Yes,
Yeah?
and okay, Action Group or Action Congress, whatever, in the southwest. In as much as and it was such that because of the decentralization of power at the center and giving it to the regions, it made government, governance, and leadership closer to the people, interesting, and accountable. The moment we started losing our sense of accountability, that is when we still fall into what we are today. Now, looking at the context, in the northeast, northwest basically, we had the granite pyramids, we had cotton, we had millet. We exported. I might rejig your memory to know that we exported millet to Niger Republic. We exported cattle from the northwest. We're exporting cattle to Niger that is exporting everything we're importing from today. We exported maize. We exported, there were some crops we have there in the north that we're exporting. The same with the northeast. And there were a lot of mineral resources besides gold. In my secondary school then in Mina, the stream that passed through.
All right. Engineer, they're still with us. Don't worry. We're getting used to Asaba. We'll change that next week. Okay. Well, with you, engineer, we lose some
Scavenger, they come there to scavenge for gold. And you see, I saw, and this gave strength, financial strength, and independence to those regions. And come to cocoa, your opening Sabo almost said it all. Come to the southwest. Besides cocoa, there was cola nuts. We're exporting cola nuts. So much in droves. I must let us remember that Cadbury was buying cocoa from the southwest, taking it to the UK or then also America,
Yes.
and they were coming back with bombita. They were coming back with chocolates. They were coming back with candies from the cocoa that they bought from Nigeria.
we're eating something called goody goody.
Yes, goody goody. Yeah, you remember?
You remember?
Goody
Only
goody.
lady
At
doesn't know
that
what
time,
is goody goody. You know what is goody goody?
no, she might not know definitely. And then we're buying it in Warri then. At that time, dollar was dollar to naira. Naira was stronger to dollar. I think 1 naira to $1.2 or something. We had strength in our currency because we're exporting. Then come to the Midwest. The Midwest was the epicenter because we're a mangrove region, not a savanna region. The climate attracted rubber. We had a lot of rubber plantations from Umutu to Oronigbe. My grandfather had a lot of plantations in Oronigbe where they had rubber. I played rubber seed when we were growing up in Warri then because rubber was almost everywhere.
Don't play rubber seed.
Yeah, yes. You remember very well. I played rubber seed. And we had young men. My elder brother, even when they were in Ekpoma, they were still exploring rubber. They were still tapping rubber to sell because rubber was a major earner, even for people that were working then in most of the Midwest, Saple, Ogara, just name it, Warri, Axis, the whole of that region. We had palm oil. Yes. Then we have palm oil that Malaysia came to take seeds from Naifo in Benin. I think it was in mid-80s that they wanted to use it as a test run to see if it's profitable. And today, then at that time, after Brazil were the second highest exporter of crude oil, of palm oil. But today, where are we? Malaysia has taken over, even with rubber.
We don't export anymore.
To sustain.
We don't have enough to eat at home.
We can't manufacture. We can't get the ones for our own internal consumption. We can't get enough to consume. Remember, at that time, our population was less than 50, 60,000. But management was of essence. Now, I think at times, when good things come early, there are some people God do not give wealth early because he thinks they might die before they actualize the usage of that good. So it delays their wealth. There are some, they give them early and they die. I think they gave us wealth too early as a nation. And that is why we didn't understand the value.
I
Then
agree.
the oil boom came. The oil boom now came.
That's the problem.
At that time the oil boom came, that most of our nationalist leaders had died. They died with the ideology. They were the people that conceptualized the idea of Nigeria towards independence. They were the people that negotiated with the British to actualize our independence. And when it happened, most of them had died from the posh, from the 1966 coup and all that. They went Nnamdi Azikiwe. In fact, the problem actually started when Nnamdi Azikiwe became the President General. At that time, when they started seeing politics, they started seeing power, the region started losing their assets. then the Civil War and the oil boom. And when military came to become undemocratic dictators, and that problem started, we lost the essence of our livelihood as a nation when our dependence now moves towards oil. And where did we get it wrong? At that time, that the regions had these natural resources, the different oil in the Midwest. But then, what they were doing to oil, why did we not do it to those other natural resources in the north? Why did we not think of how to export gold? How did we not think of how to export diamond and other natural resources that were in the north and other regions? But they concentrated in northerners. Everybody looked at oil as the leeway because that was the oil boom, and we were the fifth largest producers of crude oil in the world, after the likes of Venezuela, fifth in the world at that time. The oil boom came with its own corruption boom. And that was where the problem
It came with the corruption boom.
Now, when they
yes,
saw,
I know. Money was just too much.
Yes, the oil boom
cash
came with
was
corruption
too much.
boom.
I think the cash was too much.
Because of the fact that when you look at the situation at that time, there was no accountability. People were not being held accountable.
No, no need now.
One
We have
person that could
enough.
have
It
made
was
it
not
happen.
every month.
No, there was a need. If people were being held accountable, the state we are in today would not have been.
Agree.
A nation that cannot, you and I, you said that we're about 300 million. Some people say about more than 300. Me, I'll tell you it's about 280. Because the National Bureau of Statistics does not even know his work. We cannot conduct a free and fair
It's allowed to
census
400 million.
for accountability purposes. And if we even start at that time, at the emergence of the oil boom, the problem now started. People wanted to be independent. The creation of 12 states by Murtala Mohammed. The states now, and the essence of losing the identity of true federalism to what we're practicing today. True federalism is the only way we can return close to what we ought to be. Because we're not practicing democracy. The oil boom came with corruption, and nobody. Murtala jailed people, they were released. Shagari came, Obasanjo came, he released them. Then they started, the military now came in, and they saw that, wow, it's not all about going to Sandhurst, going to Pakistan Military Academy. Wow, there's money. Forget the military. Nigeria has the highest amount of military training wastages in the world. You train officers, the finest officers, they retire them at 40, 42. 4 years, and they can't, when there's a war, they can't even come back.
Okay. True federalism is what he said. I'm going to hold on to that.
60.
People in Nigeria need to define what
the military became politicized. They came with a, yes, the military became politicized. They came with a mindset, and that was when the looting started. How many of them? Most of the oil blocks are owned by the military. As Obasanjo amassed all those land and had Obasanjo farm, the Yaradua had his own. They came into the oil sector where they never had any sense of belonging, or they never had any capacity to utilize the country level. Then they started, the manipulation now started. How did they do it? They said, well, the South, okay, you can have the natural resources.
All right. As you know, this is going to be a difficult one, but it's a lesson to, when we now talk about goody goody, very sticky, what is people talking about? Very don't know what is goody goody. I swear, you didn't see it with your eyes. You know?
I don't know. Did they not do like the same good? Don't they have, maybe even if it's a new version of it, so that we'll see what it looks like?
It's chocolate, but it was really, there's a way you describe. In those days, if you drink Sprite, not the Sprite of go on, sir. Are you now with us, engineer?
Yeah.
Okay. I know the
I'm with
network.
you. You said?
Go on, sir.
He's talking.
I'm with you. I can speak out. I can hear you now. There's a grace.
Good. Go on. Go on. So we want you to
yes, like I was saying. So that,
yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that was where the situation now started, and now we have a followership problem. we the electorate. These people we call politicians. They were once electorate like us, and some of them cried as you and I are crying today for the actualization of a better Nigeria. So, what is that thing that changes their mind when they get into positions of authority, political authority? It is greed, selfishness, avarice, and they noticed what the political elite, both their mentors and mentees, use to distort the trajectory of a democratic ideology is this: religion, tribe, and ethnicity. Most importantly, religion. And they make sure that,
All right.
and they work on the psyche of these ignorant Nigerians who are so gullible, even worse than Esau that sold his porridge. They can sell their birthright, they can sell their boats for just as small as 5,000 naira. And that's where our problem now started getting amplified until the executive at different levels, even when we had military regime and democratic regime, they made sure that the institutions were weakened and made to be subjective to the narrative coming from the leadership, which is the executive, whether in military or democracy. And the moment it got to that level, it became a problem. Why did it become a problem? It will be very difficult for us to reform Nigeria if we don't transform ourselves, both the led and the leaders. We need to transform ourselves first before we can. We need to reform ourselves first before we can transform Nigeria.
Thank you.
And the reformation is a reformation of our mindset, of our political ideology. What do we stand to gain if you have everything in the world? But then you have all the cars, you can't even drive to your village. You're from Sapele to Warri, it's a nice one. Benin to Sapele, another problem.
You don't want to come out at night. The guys are waiting.
Yes, they don't want
Boys are waiting, man. Come out now.
They can't do that. So finally, sir, it's a very unfortunate situation, but looking at it in a greater context, we are a product of taking punitive measures against leaders. Zuma was arraigned for stealing just $2 million in South Africa. Former Thailand Prime Minister was sentenced to jail for stealing. But yeah, we celebrate people that have stolen our collective commonwealth.
They become heroes. They are heroes. They are heroes.
They call heroes. They want us, and our churches have not helped matters. Our churches are religious bodies. The churches, the mosques, they have not helped
Tomorrow,
matters.
go and see.
They
See tomorrow. Yesterday you saw us.
Thanksgiving. It's so unfortunate. Everybody is culpable, including you and I.
Yes.
Everybody is culpable for the decay that we found ourselves today, but it's redeemable.
Yes. Thank you. And the last one, it is redeemable. Thank God. And that's the hope. You use one word, true federalism. Later, I know Baka will going to throw more light. But Baka, as you are getting us into it, could you define what your true federalism would be?
Baka is angry. He's angry.
What your true federalism will be? Go on, sir. Very well.
Well, okay. If I hear you right, it's about perhaps where we got it wrong.
Yes. When
Yes.
Mashak was talking, Mashak did mention of that we need a true federalism because that way we might be able to identify our problems. I know. Today, I really didn't want to dwell on how corrupt we are or how evil we are. I think we are not the most evil people on earth. We go to church, we go to mosque, meaning we can be good. We just need somebody to help us to be good. It also says something.
Oh.
If
Yeah,
you have
so,
a wife, and the wife is saying,
that
I don't want to pretend. Wrong. Your wife to learn to pretend. If you can pretend, then you can be good. So we can
yes,
be good. choice.
we
You go to
can't
court.
we we can't we can't hide from that fact. We need true federalism for us to move this nation forward. Just like we are told about October 1st, 1960, and how significant it is in our
History.
political history. That is also how we should know of another date, January 15th, 1956.
Okay.
January 15th, 1966. Because that was the day that crude oil was discovered
Yes.
at Olobiri in the present day Bayelsa State in a commercial quantity. And Nigeria before then was such that there was healthy competition. There was healthy competition, regional competition that brought out the best in the areas of core competencies in terms of regional development.
Okay.
But by the time the oil came, it appeared that the resources from there was far more than what
Anything
we
we were
were
generating.
able to manage.
Yes.
Well, yes, what we were able to manage. And sometimes it's better for you. I think engineer has said something along that line, that it's
Yes.
better for you to have
What you can
resources
manage, so you live long.
that are close to your capacity
Yes. So you
rather
can
than
live long.
having resources far more than your capacity, because it has
You die quick.
compounded some person's problem. That is
Yes.
why we have never seen anybody sustain wealth that was gotten from a jackpot
Exactly.
or pool betting. Yeah, if somebody does a pool betting here in Nigeria, we call it bet Niger. If I do some bet Niger now and get a particular amount that I do not have the vision to run with it, I do not have the capacity to manage it. Check me out in the next couple of months. I will be in a worse situation than I am now, because that money will make my problems to be compounded. That
Exactly.
money will lead me to, some of the expand beyond my capacity,
That's it. Yes.
So, yes, and that on its own is problem. Well, we started getting resources from crude oil, but we did not ploy it into infrastructural development. And so the more we got the money, because of corrupt tendency, our infrastructure was getting more decayed. Turnaround maintenance that never turned around our refineries in any way. And at some point, it was embarrassing. There was a seminar in Angola where the then Secretary of State of America lamented that Nigeria did not have any reason whatsoever importing refined petroleum. That we do
That's a
not have
fact.
any justifiable reason
No, no,
to be importing
no
fuel.
justifiable reason at all.
We just did not have. If you go to the south today, you see the military. They are destroying the local refineries. Yes, they say the people are doing bunkering, but those are local initiatives. If the national refineries cannot refine, and individuals come together and they
Privatize
are
them.
able to refine the product, and people are using it, what is wrong in harmonizing them? What is wrong in bringing them together, formalizing their operation, and see how that can bring revenue? No, the interest group that has been so tied, has been so glued to importation of a refined product, will expect us to destroy this local initiative. And so you have the military that have been kept there over the years, destroying local refineries. And they call them local, they call them illegal refineries.
Yes.
Illegal. They say they are illegal refineries. But that also reminds me of the colonial tendency then, when we were growing up. There were people in our communities that were selling gin. We call it ogogoro,
Yes.
and they were hiding in their backyard to sell it
Let's sell
because
it.
the colonial law said it was illicit, it was illegal because
Yes.
it was not imported.
Yes.
That is to say that even up till now, we are running on that dangerous trajectory that until our petroleum is imported, then it is not properly refined. And you can imagine the kind of theatrics that went around Dangote refinery. Before he was allowed to operate, it's just because of the kind of fellow he has and his contacts and network. Otherwise, they had frustrated that initiative because they said that the product was not refined enough and cannot be, the quality was low. It was not up to standard and could not be compared with what was being imported. Because over the years, we have been glued to this mentality that if rice is not imported, then it is not rice. But I grew up in a rice farm in Delta State here, and up till tomorrow, I have a medical doctor friend who still export rice to the daughter, who is also a medical doctor in Europe, because nutritionists have come to say that our rice is not planted with fertilizer, it's not chemicalized, and so it's more nutritious. You understand? But because of the stoning process and some of those, they have this feeling that until it is imported, it is not good enough. We are getting to that point where our gari, we need to be sent to China for it to be proteinized
Processed.
and repackaged and brought back to ShopRite. Then we can go there and buy it. Until it is done, if something is not imported, can permit me to shock you, Daddy Chris? We had a governor in South who had a party and invited all the governors of the South and was displaying to them a world-class furniture that he had just acquired. And they fell in love. And our brother Ibori was in that gathering, and he was congratulating him. But at some point, touched a place on that furniture, and somewhere was crafted there. It was embossed, produced by Bob Oshodi Furniture Factory, Benin, for then an Italian furniture manufacturing company. So it was packaged in Benin,
Okay.
broken down, exported,
To
and
China.
this guy went to Italy and paid for it, and it was shipped down. And for all you care, he was displaying it until he was told that the thing was actually produced and packaged in Benin. Only that it was exported and it was now shipped back, and he had bought it. That was when he held his hand and shouted that he had been scammed. That's our mentality.
Idiot.
We now believe that we could only consume what we do not produce.
Yes.
Toothpick is not toothpick in Nigeria until it is imported there.
Imported. And I bring that one.
Cotton. Yes. It has to be imported one. It has to be the imported one, And the same thing for cotton ball. If it's not imported, it's not it. So we completely lost the sense of manufacturing and adopted this taste for foreign goods. Everything has got to be foreign. We had a governor in one of the states that lost the wife and had to marry a foreign model. We started importing wives. We started importing.
We start importing wives now too.
Started
Okay.
importing housemaids. Yeah. We started importing them. So every taste
Someone that imported one.
are not good enough. Yes. See what you can make out of the crude oil and use it to fund your foreign taste. Get into a particular place and tell me the chair there is imported. The clothes people are wearing is imported. So your shoe is imported. So where is the kind of encouragement for local initiative? Your wristwatch is imported.
Yes.
Everything is imported. And then why we have lost track with the reality. And what is the reality? That the world is fast developing beyond oil. And the time will come, if the oil doesn't dry up, you produce your oil, but because the cars are now being battery driven, and artificial intelligence are now the drivers and things so you will be with your oil. So that was the part not taken. The part not taken is that we ought to have continued with our trajectory of agro-industrial development that would have created factories, that would have created employment opportunities, and our educational system would have taken suit such that we produce people with initiative of how to create jobs, how to solve problems. For goodness sake, the relationship between town and gown. The town is the society. The gown is the university. Must be such that the gown should be favorably predisposed towards solving problems. But an average university in Nigeria, in trying to show you their book of what they are spending, the internally generated revenue, the school fees our children pay, will tell you how much they spend fueling the generator. So for how long will you be fueling generator on campus? Even by now, you don't have departments and you don't have the initiative that you can solarize your operation and spend less on fueling. But
even the universities,
even a university vice chancellor,
with the knowledge bank,
if a university, yes, the knowledge bank that is supposed to be wired to solve the problem of society. Now you have identified a problem in the society that we are deficit in energy production. Yet that university is following suit. Why? Because if you serve as a vice chancellor in an average university in the country for 4 years, sometimes 8 years, if you had a second tenure or thereabout, and you do not have a relation that is in charge of the fueling and the powering of the generator, then of course you are most likely to come out a poor man. And the first people who will ask you who did this to you, the first set of people who will ask you who bewitched you, who did this to you, are the people from your community. How come you were a vice chancellor, you were a governor of a university for this long, and you came out and you tell us that you didn't keep this? First of all, your traditional ruler will not give you chieftaincy title.
No, you will get chieftaincy. No chieftaincy.
If you organize a Thanksgiving in your church, the sermon is not going to be very ponderous because of course
the church might not have your time.
Not going to be.
And you better go to Catholic church. You go to this church.
So you find out that we are all guilty in one way or the other. Our education has not developed beyond the point where the colonial authorities designed it. They designed it for clerks, secretaries, and people who will assist them. Not for thinkers. Not for thinkers. Not for you to solve problems.
Not to solve society problem. The gun is not for the town.
Of malaria. Why are we still waiting for the problem of rollback malaria to be solved from US? Why are we still waiting for Trump, to give us the aid with which we can take care of malaria that is indigenous to us here? Because our educational system is wired not to solve our problem. Otherwise, that is why we find a situation where there are people with BSc chemistry who have not seen alkaline. They have not seen any chemical. Now, yes. in the universities, we have what they call alternative to practical. Yes. Alternative to practical. And you see that there are graduates of mass comm who may not have been exposed to the realities of the dynamics in the studio. They have never come face to face with the studio. And as such, that is where we are, that our education cannot even salvage the situation. And such, you see a situation where we have a political setting that it's like it has held the entire system captive, and it's almost becoming too late for the youth now to cry out to say, here we are, because the kind of education you receive is deficient. You can't solve problem.
Yes.
You can't even create jobs. You are going to be out there for 5-6 years looking
Yes.
for, and at some point, when you see the job after 5-6 years, you have forgotten what you even learned.
All the things you study
in the school, in the school. That is where we are. We lost it when we could not plow back what we earned from crude into developing of our infrastructure, into developing our agro sector to become agro alive, and over time we saw a situation where the ruling members of the ruling class were gathering so much that a segment of society became so poor. Today we are in a situation, it's a quagmire. The rich cannot sleep because the poor is hungry.
They have
The poor cannot sleep because they are hungry. So
because the rich made them hungry. The rich made them hungry.
Yes.
It is the rich that made them hungry.
Yeah, the rich made them hungry. And neither the rich nor the poor sleep now. That is where we are in terms of insecurity. You have what you would have used to set up the factory, put to be gainfully engaged. You have used it to buy all manner of vehicles. Now, there are limited places you can take the vehicles to, because the unengaged people are also plotting and trying to track you.
They are waiting for you.
Where they can pick you up.
They are
so
waiting for you,
pay back.
Any chance.
They are waiting for you so that you can pay back.
Yes.
Yeah? So in a setting like this, you find out that there is no meaningful development we can make except we retrace our step back to where did we get it wrong.
That's it.
And how can we redeem the times?
Generation.
Because the times are deadly, the times are dangerous.
Thank you. See, the word is we're gonna retrace. That's what we're doing today. We've retraced. Thank God I retraced. Engineer Mashak has retraced, and I like what Mark said now. We need to remember the day we discovered oil. It's supposed to be a blessing, and it's still a blessing. The question is, what would that true federalism mean to you, other Nigerian looking at me? Sometimes, and when I started this thing, I said, there's no political, I don't believe in politics, because politics is, the word politics means management. That's the English word. Politics is management. So when it's politics, yes, it's okay, it's management. You manage things every day. That's what politics means. So the question is, what are they managing? So that is why I want to trace our issues to. As we retrace this step, I retrace it to the economy of the country then. Because whatever we're doing politically, let's have 24 states, let's have all the 36 states now. I know we're going to grow more because the population is growing. It is natural for more states to be created. I see that as a blessing. See, for me, I see the other way around. I think the best thing that happened to Nigeria were the states now created. The only challenge in my book, maybe that's why I'm thinking differently, is that these states did not own up to what the regions had. Okay, the question I'm going to ask you guys on this platform today is that, what were the things that were taken from these local states now? Because in the then Nigeria, they were still contributing to the federal. They had more. That was the then Nigeria. There was nothing different today. Delta State, if Delta State is making more money, I don't think they even contribute to Nigeria. Instead, Nigeria contribute to them. Okay, the Delta can cry because they're taking oil from Delta. Not as if Delta is the one actually generating this money. I have never seen any state in Nigeria that the federal government is taking money from. Other than the federal government that is so blind to focus on oil. That Delta State generated oil or make money from oil and the Nigerian government say, oh, you must give it to me. The answer is no. During the time, the then regional time, listen, the Kano people were making their own granite and they actually contributing to the federal. Today, Kano is not. It's collecting from the federal. Okay. Although they were making a lot of money from cocoa, they were contributing to the federal. The case is different now. So you can see the dilemma. I want us to retrace this step. Now, they were the region. Today we have 36. Supposing, make my argument now. Supposing each state, for instance, like what I put on in my piece today, each state now pick on two crops, 2 items in agric. I want to do farm, I want to do rice and yam. Depends on the one where you are comparative, we have that comparative advantage. Nigeria is so blessed. In the north, they have the chance to grow with their livestock. President Tinubu want to create a minister of livestock. Blind leadership. All right. Supposing, the federal government is not going to do this. Sometimes we talk about that the federal government cannot do business. Can the state still do their own? This is what I'm thinking now. Suppose I'm thinking now that if each state now take two things and they produce it and they make money. No, maybe I'm talking too far. The question I want to ask two of you is, which state in Nigeria is making money that the federal government is taking from them? Because let's retrace step back. As at that time, the regions were making money and they were contributing to the federal. Today, it is the other way around. Show me one state in Nigeria that is now making money that is giving money to the federal. Do you know of any?
That was where the discovery of oil changed a whole number of things.
In fact, it changed. So it did not change the federal government. It changed the state because the federal government only discovered oil.
No. Before then, Western region was allowed to extract its resources, cultivate its cocoa, pay royalty of a percentage to the center, but utilize, its revenue. But today,
so if we follow your argument, Mbaka, wait a minute. If we follow this, the only people that should be talking then should be those producing the oil. Because I never see what Zamfara is producing that is giving money to the federal. Kano is no more contributing anything to the federal. Even the then Lagos State.
They have abundance of solid minerals.
Are they tapping on it? Are they using it? Did the federal government stop them from doing so?
And as we speak, they are being extracted. They are being mined. They are being extracted in collaboration with some foreign interest.
Okay,
by non-state actors. By non-state actors. And they are not giving any account. There's no accountability to federal government.
Thank you.
Non-state actors are mining them.
So, Mbaka, federal government is not to be blamed here. What I'm saying now is, okay, let me put it this way. We are here now. We are talking as people. We are from Delta State. Did the state government, our state, have they start to produce, or maybe they set up a refinery, and the federal government say, no, you cannot have your own refinery? Have you heard that? Dangote have a refinery in Lagos, not in Kano, where it come from. It's in Lagos. Did the federal government stop Delta State from having a refinery and make money? Because as at that time, Awolowo was making money from cocoa. He wasn't waiting for federal government. The question I ask us today is it what I'm trying to drive here is it the Nigeria that is bad now, or that we just refuse to be productive? That the regions, now 37 regions, are dormant. The 37 regions are dead, doing nothing. Now, tell me, can Delta State produce oil? Can they get a refinery? If only Dangote can get a refinery, is Dangote richer than Delta State? Dangote must have got some loan.
No, no,
Look
no,
at
no,
how much
no. I think
Okuku has
Delta
borrowed.
can, Delta State can,
Yes.
but for Delta States to realize that there should be a change in the thinking. For
Of
now,
who?
governments think in terms of short-termism.
So,
4
Engineer Mike,
years, 8
I like that.
years.
So we're
It will
getting
take,
somewhere.
yeah, short-term. No, short-term. And if I can explain this,
Okay.
a number of states were invited to Abuja, and Delta was one of the states that were regarded as having advantage. Delta.
Okay.
And so there were seedlings that were given out. Delta State's trailer load of seedling of cocoa were sold. The trailer load was sold right there in Abuja at the venue.
It's either
It
share.
never got back to.
No.
It was
I share
sold. Yes, it was sold. It never got back. It never got back to Delta. But Delta, soil scientists will confirm, is the fifth, should be the fifth most advantageous state in production of cocoa. But Delta didn't have its own share, because this initiative was, let us regenerate Nigeria. Let us go back to where we lost it.
Let us retrace
And
our
so
steps.
states were invited.
Yes.
States were invited.
Thank you, my brother. That's what I would do if I'm a president.
In the south, some of them in the southeast come and take oil palm seedlings and take them back. Some did. Yes. Delta State loads of trailer of cocoa did not return to Delta. They were exchanged there for cash. And when, as journalists, we confronted those who were in charge, they said the gestation period is long. That when you bring it down to Delta and you go and clear a place and you go and start planting it, that it is the next 4, 5, 6 generation of people in government that would yield the benefit. I don't know if anybody is following at all.
With you.
So what does that expose? Now. I need something that will be reflected in the budget for my ministry now. And I can attract it, get the funding now, whether it is utilized or not. But I need the funding, because it is from there that I will get my benefit that will justify that I have been in government. And not many people are thinking towards the way Awolowo did it, of let us plant these generational economic trees. Cocoa is one of them. It serves from generation to generation.
Exactly.
An average administrator today will tell you that it is foolish for you to clear a place and get it planted, and you don't know where you will be when another generation will be earning it. So we are too short-termist in our thinking. We want to get it now. It's an Indomie generation, instant generation. I want it. It goes in now and I come in now. So we are not long-termish in our thinking. And we do not plan, we do not project. And there is a limit to which we can make progress with this kind of short term. That's why there's no continuity in government. Anybody comes, he wants to initiate his own fresh project. No matter the merits in the one you met, you want to initiate your own. Because it is in initiating your own that you will get your cut. You know it now that here, I don't know whether we also inherited that from the colonial authority. Government is seen as a big elephant meat. You are going in there, go and cut your own and bring back to our community. The meat never gets finished. So that's the belief. Go and bring. And that is why that when you even go to the village tomorrow, they pray for you. you will be the one to eat government. Government will not eat you. You understand?
Yes.
We are not telling you to go and steal, oh, but do not come
No.
back empty-handed.
Empty-handed.
Don't steal, oh. Don't steal, oh. Protect our name. You know we have a good name, but don't return to this community empty-handed.
Handed.
What have they told you? You've got to think outside the box. So if I now get in as a commissioner, and I met wonderful programs on ground that my friend has, we have developmental interventionist institutions in this state, in this country, that are bedeviled by abandoned projects. People have, what they were interested in awarding the project and getting
collecting
their
the money.
percentage for the award, collecting the money. And today, you see a replete of abandoned projects, well-meaning projects everywhere. Interventionist projects that would have transformed lives of communities. But that is our mentality. Until we change that, we are not ready to go far as a people. The leaders are involved, and the structures, human structures who support the leaders are there. Even community leaders who give chieftaincy title to people who serve in office for just 4 or 5 years, and they come back and they are ready to buy the entire community. We all must try and see how we can come back with a moral regeneration, value reorientation. Until we do that, then we will continue to be a very materialistic, a highly monetized society. The 2027 will come. We will all fight behind those who will give us the money. And they will all be perpetuated in government there, and things will not change. And that's a very bad scenario.
Very bad one indeed. Basically, that when you look at, today's topic has been pretty interesting. We've been dwelling so much on resource control and the perks of resource control. But I want to reference something that happened in 2014.
And you Chris, check your mic is
504.
muted.
Okay.
We said
Go on, sir.
in 2014, yes, 540 members from the 36 states, I think 3 each or so from each state. We had the clergy, we had members from big organizations like the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, we had people from big international associations in Nigeria, not international, so Nigerian associations, the Labor Union, the Traditional Institution. 540 people were brought together by the government to chart a course. We're not amending the constitution on this. It's not constitutional, but to chart a course
For Nigeria.
that will give us a template upon which Nigeria shall be governed. The sum of 1.7 trillion naira was spent in a period of 6 months.
Good luck,
And
Jonathan.
after that,
Good
yes,
luck.
in Jonathan era, it was presented to Jonathan. In that, all we have been talking here, all we have talked relating to 5 decades, 6 decades ago, all we have talked about that will bring back the reformation of and transformation of Nigeria to what we want it to look like. We're embedded in that. I've forgotten what the name they call it then. I think I was talking about it on TV.
There's a village, oh. Is it Mary? Where's the name of that village?
The confab.
The confab, yeah. There's a place for confab.
Confab.
They built it, though. They built the confab.
Yes. Now, when you look at that confab, I will tell you why it failed, though. When you look at that confab, everything we have talked about is inside that confab. Besides all that, they talked about regional government, talked about devolution of powers. Now, do you know what is happening?
You know, favor Buhari now. Nigeria's vote.
Yes, it will weaken the legislature. It will reduce the power of the executive. Now, what do they now do? In that confab, they suggested, I think, 110 for a president or so. The legislature, in fact, inside the confab was reformatory for democracy. Now the ethnic bigots brought out the
Yes.
ethnic carrots and
Yes.
spread it around. That the 2014 confab is anti-Islam, is
Yes.
anti-Christian, is this, is that. But the truth be said, I asked a question one of those times we're on TV. I said, I didn't select the constituents of the confab. The different states nominated
The
their
people.
representatives.
Exactly.
All the northern states nominated their representatives. Abuja nominated the representatives. And the representatives were selected by the people
By the
of the
people.
constituency they represent. Yes. Now, why not happened? But it pains me because Jonathan would have made a history with himself if he had signed that into law. There was no
Immediately.
way Buhari was going to sign that.
Immediately. Good Lord should have
Immediately,
signed that
because
into
look
law.
at the amount we spent. Into law, let it flow. We spent
Anything
1.7
that happen,
trillion.
happen.
Check it out. 1.7 trillion to put our heads together to heal the nation.
It was a healing
And
cause.
it's still a
Very necessary.
policy formulation. We needed somebody with a strong willpower to help implement the policy. Most of them know that they cannot stay in the National Assembly more than 2 terms. It's in that confab or so.
Yes.
They had gone through, but they didn't want. That is why they said, no, we will not see the light of day. Why are we, Nigerians look at themselves, our political leaders, they look at themselves as gods, political gods.
They are actually
Politicians
foolish.
see life
They are
as
foolish.
infinity.
No, it's going to
They don't
backfire
think
on
they are
them.
going to die one day.
Yes.
It is.
Have you seen them?
That
Have you
confab
seen
would
this?
have, that confab would have been able to redeem so much. Can I ask you some questions?
Good.
The monies that was found in that tower in Ikoyi, the money still today doesn't have a name. We don't know where the money is. Money was found in a train station in Kaduna. Who brought the money in
We don't know.
Go back? I'm talking of trillions. Billions, and when it changed the hard currencies, going to trillions. No name was tagged to that money. Nobody has been arrested to date. Some monies were found in a street in Kaduna in something that looked like a kiosk. That was when they asked for whistleblowers to come out and blow whistle. Nobody, no name, there was no name tagged to that money till today. Nobody has been arrested. And you want Nigeria to heal. They have very few people. The minority ruling the majority, impoverishing the majority. Now what do? They pauperize us. They create a sense of poverty. We are used to poverty, and we know how to bear. We are very we know how
Yeah, we
to
are used to
we know
it.
how to we have an unlimited endurance system.
It's already in the
Unlimited
DNA.
endurance mechanism.
Yes.
It's already in our DNA. Anything can go. We go bear. This one we pass away. We have refused to take decisions. Our representatives in the National Assembly. When you get to the National Assembly, it's either you join us or you are out. Even inside the National Assembly, it's better either you are with us or you remain quiet till after your 4 years.
The National Assembly with Akpabio. Akpabio National Assembly, what do you expect? In fact,
No way.
in fact.
In the next, by 2027, everybody, there will be no minority party in the National Assembly.
No, they are all gone. There's
Nigeria
not now.
might become
There's
a
not
one-party
now.
state.
No, there's not.
Nigeria might become a one-party state. Now, sickening enough, because some of the confab, that 2014 confab, were representatives from their states. Some of the traditional rulers we have today were representative of their states. Most of the religious leaders we have today were there. Sheikh Kumi was there. Some of these Christian traditional clergymen were there, but none of them has come out boldly to face the executive to their faces and tell them, how did we waste 1.7 trillion naira put us under feeding with taxpayers' money in hotels in Abuja
Yes.
for 6 months. And we came out with something that would heal the land. But today, it has been trashed. Nigeria is an
We need
enigma.
to we need to wait for
Nigeria
this.
is an illusion. Nigeria continues to give less hope to the living, to the unborn children, and to the ones that there is no. Look, if you look at the trajectory of governance, the moment you turn politics into a career, have you ever seen uh, politicians in the UK, for example? You are in the UK. How many of them? 90% of them go back to their normal jobs after their stewardship.
Of course.
90% of them.
Yes, of course.
They go back to their normal job. They move in train. They move in buses.
Anyway, they have a good job anyway. You get well paid. Some of
Yes.
them, when they are
Well
minister,
paid.
they get less than what they get on their own. You see,
When
this
we
way
were
the
staying in
society goes.
Shelogunu, we had expatriates that were living in Shelogunu with us then that ride bicycles to the office.
Yeah,
Bicycles to the office. When
yeah.
my dad was in cross posting in Amsterdam, the same thing. You have people that ride bicycles to the office. When you see them, most times you see our political elite. When they leave power, they can never. I've never seen a politician go back to his job that he was doing before. Because in power, all they think about is looting,
You get job.
building hotels and lounges. Then when they come out, some of them even get their later becoming permanent secretaries. People that can't even communicate, they're not lettered. They are because of their they have become commissioners and they now make them permanent secretaries. Because they were in the service before, then they just retire like that and you start earning the salary of a permanent secretary for life. Nigerians don't appreciate content. They don't appreciate intellectual integrity. We allow the majority that are content filled, allow the minority that have nothing to govern over them because of fear. And that is the bait that the political elite have used to put us in the stigma that we are today. They have used fear. These kidnappings you are seeing, the banditry you are seeing, are products of the political elite. They created, look, they brought in these monsters in 2014, 2015, prior to the election, when a certain presidential aspirant made reference to the fact that Nigeria will become ungovernable if he doesn't win or something. And now when you arm a man, you infiltrated our borders with immigrants from other republics. Now you arm these people with arms. Now they not saw what the arms could do during elections. So so with arms, when I am armed,
Calculate fear and get money.
I'm in charge. Yes. Now the mistake the politicians fail to realize that if you give 20 people arms, you can only retrieve from only one person. Statistically,
Be like monkey.
19 other people will
Give
go.
monkey banana not the hard. Glass not the hard. Take them back.
They ask to collect a back.
Now
And
allow.
that is the crisis we are facing today.
Exactly.
These arms, there's a high level of proliferation of arms because of our politicians. They created a monster that is eating us up today. But I am redirecting the monster to the political elite. I hope and pray they should focus more on the political elite. They are the creation of the political elite. They should foster their frustration, not on myself and Ubaka, and of course Evelyn and Marvelous here in the studio.
Exactly.
We are products of a creation
We want
of
to give them marvelous. They can have
and
marvelous.
we
No
must
problem.
live. No, they can't have Marvelous. She's part of the bathroom staff. So it's
Yes.
a creation, the monster is a creation of the political elite. And we will not allow that. That's why we'll keep talking.
Thank
Even
you,
though
my
they don't
brother.
hear, but international community that are listening, people are watching, they are hearing. So people have been transformed with our narratives every day. But we hope that transformation the Salah. The most difficult people to transform is the Nigerian politician. The moment you
Wait.
taste that honey, and when you know that that honey, once you taste it, even if you steal the jug of honey, nothing can happen because the judiciary has been weakened, punitive. I mean, they become so much in the land, and that is the price we pay today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What I want to do is we're going to take a look at some of the newspapers headline quickly because we're really out of time. But to do justice to this program, let's go on a quick break. While Mary gets settled for us, we'll take a look at one or two papers and we'll call it a wrap. Though this topic is a very difficult one, but I think Engineer Mashak has summed it all. All these things we talked about today, they're all in that constitutional conference. That conference which brought Nigerians together never implemented. Nigerians are not aware of this. And the question is, you as a politician, are you really enjoying this Nigeria? I don't think anybody is winning here. Because right now, your children are abroad studying. Is that a win? When you are sick, you go abroad for treatment. Is that a win for you? I don't understand. You can't even come out and walk freely. Is that a win for you? Look at your fence. Only in Nigeria you see fences that is so high. In this world, I've been going around. I've never seen fences so high. In the UK, I've never seen a fence. We don't have fence anywhere in the city. So how about we?
Yeah, because what we have here are fences for maximum prisons. Maximum prisons.
Yes, exactly. So we are all in prison as it is. So is that what we want? It's
Yes.
a question we need to ask one another. But Nigeria could have been great. The issue I wanted to trace today, I couldn't. Mbaka has just said it. It made me to just relax. Because the truth is, all these issues have been addressed. Because there's no way I know that all those numbers of Nigerians would have been gathered in one place and they will not speak true to themselves. They must have addressed all these issues. Good luck. As soon as people continue to praise you, there's one thing Ambassador said. We're not looking for a good president. We're not looking for a good man. We're looking for a good president. Good luck, you might be a good man. You were a very, very weak president. You might not be terrible, but a very, very weak president. It's playing out every day. Had you signed that confirm, Nigeria would have been different today. We'll go on a break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at that. And these newspapers and see. I know my people will throw much light on that. Ubaka was going to help hit me because I love good luck. But I want to I'll keep my words first. I have to run away first. So that before Ubaka throw blow at me, we're on a break. When we come back, the blow will be less. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll take a look. I better get ready for the newspaper review, please. Thank you. Don't go away. Stay with us.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. Nigeria Week London 2025 is coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria, is partnered with Civil Society, scaling up nutrition in Nigeria.
Welcome back. I need the studio needs a little bit of. We need to calm down. And we'll calm down. I'm sure we'll calm down. And Mary will be taking us on a very, very beautiful journey. We'll take a look at one or two papers and we'll see how we call this show. Right, it's Saturday. We need to go and get some goodies so that let everybody rest after this long, what I call a long week. But they say there's something to what we've done today. Nigerians do not overlook the discussion. Why we are worried, why we are fighting, why we are arguing. Our problem is the solution is right there with us because we've been able to identify it. We know if, like I said, if we begin to make a lot of money, the politician will still, but there will still be a lot left. In fact, do you know that the politicians are actually shortchanging themselves? And the time will come, they will come to realize that. And you too, why you even they follow that man? The man that took your destiny, you dey clap for him because he's your brother. Or because he's giving you something now. Tomorrow you cry, you because everybody's we are we are all the same. We are coming to the same place. We are suffering now because of you that praises that idiot. Because if everybody had been harsh on them the way that the case is, I'm sure these politicians would have sit up. But listen, let's quickly go on. Mary, let's quickly go on with this, all right? We're not going to take a look at the papers quickly, and we'll take it from here. Mary, are you there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Take a look at the paper so that we can do some justice to today's paper because a lot is happening on in the Nigerian state, and this is the only way we can do that because the amount of killing in the north right now, and these are you see sometimes when the last time they were talking about the EPOM issue, I asked Uromi issue, I asked, you're talking about this northern as if they are coming the Muslims coming to kill you. The people they are killing in the north, are they not Muslims? Do they select Muslim and Christians in this attack? Mary, let's take us through this paper. Punch is already there. Sorry, my daughter. We oppress you sometime. Mary, that's so we do. I don't say women, they allow them talk less. They go verse. Put us in trouble.
Okay, the big story on the punch we have
Yeah.
resurgent terror attacks on settled north. And the writer says terrorists sack 250 communities, thousands displaced. How bandits replace imams, flog residents coming from local government official. And that story is on page 4 on the
This
punch.
is the headline I really want Nigerians to think about. Very, very important. And when we look at these kind of issues, my concern is Baka said something that when you recruit, no, yes, they're back. When you Mashak just said it in this last speech. When you allow certain people to come into a country because you want them to fight for your political decision, Nigeria will be ungovernable. Now they are here. To give monkey glass, they handle not to take her from her. Now they are doing all kind of havoc with it. These people are heavily armed, attacking communities. Let me be clear. They are not attacking Christians alone. They are not attacking Muslims alone. So this whole issue of I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, stupidity of the highest order. We have a problem we need to deal with as a people, as children of God. I don't care what religion you have. As a child of God, we have a problem. We've abused our system to the extent now that, like Chino Ashimbe wrote, things has fallen apart. I don't know where that guy got that title from. Things has fallen apart. This killing in the north have nothing to do. I know when we're using the issue, people were a little bit sentimental. They say, "Oh, it's because these Fulani people are coming to kidnap us." They kidnap more there. They kill themselves, and this is the product of the northern politicians. These are the products. You see, when I was analyzing this in my presentation today, I asked, and the last question I throw to this house, the only question I asked is, which state is today making money that is giving money to the federal government? Maybe Delta State. Oh, you have oil. I know they are pressing your oil. Did the federal government stop you from having a refinery? Because if Delta State have a refinery, They cannot treat Delta State the way they treated Dangote now. Because Delta State said this is our oil in the first place. We need the oil to feed ourselves. You know, Delta State government will have a case. But only thing that the governor of Delta State have ever done well is to fight for allocation, more allocation from Abuja, which is our right, I know. But what did you do with it? Did you invest it in the state? What do you produce in Delta State? I'm talking today. Don't be angry. How much are you making? What are you producing in Delta State? Now, the current governor said can't even go to Abuja, can't step near Abuja to ask for resource control like Ibori was brave. Where are we going, people? I'm talking of Delta now. Show me one state in Nigeria that is not blessed. One. There's none. And sometimes I wonder what is even in Ondo State. Ondo is when we are counting the amount of cocoa they could have been producing. Do you know what cocoa is? Everywhere in the world they eat cocoa, my brothers and sisters. And the mineral deposit in even in Ondo alone. Whoa. They look like a poor state. Of course, they will be poor. And they will remain poor because they refuse to be productive. This is not the federal government problem. And I want us to blame each other today. You can imagine I can just say the heavy competition that will be going on in Nigeria today. Lagos is doing their own. Kano do their own. Delta do their own. Rivers is doing their own. Other than these fools, like we can go into Abuja. Sorry, I have to call you a fool today, sir. You go into Abuja to go and make noise. It's not a noise of productivity. Nice to, what is Wike fighting for? Where's it going to control? It's not as if they're going to produce a dime. We don't have a country yet. Until this is removed from our system, there's no country. Nigeria don't even tell me about federalism because they don't even understand it. Federalism so that you get more oil money. That's it. Oh. Anybody say, Mary, you're a new generation, Mary. If somebody tell you that they want to create new state, it's not because they're going to be productive in that state. Oh. So they may get more oil money.
That's true.
Can you imagine the disaster we find ourselves? And how does that help even the new state you are creating? I heard this Anyoma guy now. He said he want new state. What's his name? Ned. Ned, what are you going to do with the new state? So you get more allocation. You see the disaster. So the money can be shared. And
one of the headlines is one of the headlines in today's paper that his moves, when they yield results and Anyoma State becomes a reality, that will shock his political I don't know now his political friend Borowore, because obviously they are falling apart. So that's his thinking. And the issue of resurgent terror attacks or settling north, that talks about a number of local governments that have been taken over by terrorists, insurgents. And what it means is that we have lost, when some of us were in the north, Mongonu, from there going to Baga. Baga is between Chad and Niger. We were told that Buhari was the one who led the troop that recaptured Baga from Niger and made it part of a Nigerian territory. And we went there and we saw how people were fishing, drying their fish, and a thriving economy in a border town. Today, the whole of that area, does it not in any way give you a source of concern that the immediate past Nigerian president is not in Katsina, his state. He's in Kaduna. He's in Kaduna. That has more or less become a political now, because in the last 2 weeks, all of every politician that is a politician in Nigeria is as in political mecca to pay homage to this man. But part of the reason why he's not in Katsina is the vulnerability of Katsina.
They'll take out.
He's not. so that it's not picked up.
I don't see that if you take
And
a
he is taking cover as it here in Kaduna.
yeah.
He's taking cover in Kaduna. But the very interesting thing there is that these were the same people with El Rufai who, out of desperation to put Jonathan out of power,
Out of office, yes.
brought in these guys that the baboons and the monkeys will all smell blood if he does not win, because he realized that that was his last chance. And the kind of alliance he had with Tinubu, which
Tinubu,
appears to be
Tinubu
falling
now.
apart now.
Look at Tinubu.
And yes,
Look at
yes. So today, it was something they set rolling, but it's consuming everybody. Because just like Engineer Mishak made it very clear here,
Yeah.
the most dangerous thing to do is to arm a hungry man. You know,
Exactly.
in the process of using them for political thuggery, they got used to drugs. They got used to taking drug for the hype feeling and all that. And after you now got you now, as it were, won the election, you are in power, you lock the door against them because you don't want to continue relating with them. Now you can't disarm them, and that's talking about the proliferation of illegal arms, in small arms in the hands of people. They have already been taught how to use the arm, and now for somebody who is armed to be hungry and endure the hunger for an hour, 2 days, 3
Add
days,
your policemen to
he
this.
moves
Add
into
the
the
Nigerian
forest.
police to
He
this.
tries to
Please,
see how
add
to
the Nigerian
network.
police to this.
He wants to see how he can the power of that gun, how
Yes.
the power of that gun can translate to financial power for
Of
his
course.
pocket. And that is what we are
That is
going
what you see
through
the
now.
police doing.
It's a burning fire.
Leave. See,
It's like
Mbaka,
it's
Mbaka, you are
engulfing
going
the
too
entire
far.
nation. Very
Mbaka,
dangerously.
I don't even like when we go to those people that are helpless. You give a Nigerian policeman who you pay 100,000 gone. What do you think he's going to do with it? You give somebody, you give him hundred
No,
thousand.
Sir Chris. Sir Chris, let me clarify. That of the Nigerian police is less lethal, is less dangerous because they count the bullets they give to them.
They cannot buy.
You understand?
So
No,
the
he can
police cannot buy
acquire
bullets.
illegally.
The
But
police cannot buy
Nigerian
bullets.
police is not generous with bullets. Nigerian police is not generous with bullets, even to
So
their
they cannot buy.
officers. They count the thing and give you for this operation.
So
Unless he wants to go and buy.
they go and buy.
Unless he
Bullets
wants
is
to go
everywhere.
and
The
buy.
politician actually give
So
them. Listen, I was in the room.
it's less dangerous with
I was
a
interviewing a
bullet.
politician in Nigeria.
His vehicle cannot pursue you far. His vehicle cannot pursue you far because the fuel there, they just put about 5 liters that could take them to that checkpoint. So they can't pursue you far. So operationally, they are disabled. They are disabled. So they are not as dangerous
They
as
are only disabled when it comes
these
to
ones
real
that are
work, sir.
dangerous are the ones who
No,
are
at night,
commercialized,
the police are not disabled.
who are being sponsored by
Mbaka.
people out there, and they are in the bush and they can hijack. Yes, sir.
Mbaka, you think police are disabled?
Yes, sir.
For somebody that has a POS at the checking point, he cannot buy more fuel. Are you kidding me? You see, there's nobody. Nobody. I mean, go to Nigerian police station. It's like a business center. Hey, the Nigerian police are making money. He said again, when we finish with the state, we want to talk about how the institution
They can be
make
plugged back into the logistics. They can buy fuel for it.
you see, let me say this. If the Metropolitan Police, which is the police governed in London, they are registered with the company house, they pay tax. Let me repeat that. They pay tax as an institution to the state. They're making money. The question is all the fines. You know how much Nigeria would make a day for just fine? If you break the law, you don't need to go to prison, you pay a fine. How many times have you go to court and the court asks you to pay fine? Do you know how much the state, the UK government make from finding people. If I drive now, I break one rule. The next thing, the ticket is on my door. You see, if the police do their job, there will be more money and they will be well paid. We need to reorient Nigeria. This is no joke. It's a serious issue. Because if the police do only their job, the money they will make, they can earn up to 5 million a month. But they have to do the job. And it's not going to happen overnight if the man there, Tinubu, is busy collecting, like you rightly said. You want to win election. You give a policeman gun. Go and do this, go and do that. You give him some money. You give him some extra bullet. You think he's not going to put bullet on his own when he's not doing that your job. He has finished your bidding. You have got the power. He's your friend now. So you still have the gun. It's a stupid man to go home hungry to his wife. You're joking, man. You see, the most of the dangerous things we see, I believe that even the 90% of the kidnapping are done by the men of the armed forces. Be it police, army, they are the one behind it. They are the one. Who are these idiots that can? You see, these people you are attacking. Nigeria is blaming for all these things. They are far not the ones kidnapping us. And a time will come, if God will reveal the kidnappers in Nigeria, you will see that it's only those people who are well armed that are doing it. Oh, this man, most of them didn't even go to school. Most of those people you saw, the people they killed in Ekuma, those people don't know how to use the phone. The kind of phone you see they have. Mary, have you seen them? Fulani man. Do they what kind of life? Somebody that live in the bush. Where does he have that knowledge to do the serious phone call to plot this kind of crime? Hey, the thing when they eat me for yansh, she did there. And something they scratch my yansh. I say, so now you did there, they my yansh, remove it. We have destroyed Nigeria to a stage that for me, I want to stick to the economy of the country. I believe that with the economy, with the right economy, things will turn around. Because the only reason the policeman is doing what he's doing, one, he's hungry. He has no regard for anything. One, I'll give him food to eat. If he misbehaves, he goes to prison. That's the way out. Oh, worry. I won't give you money. Federal government should stop giving this state money. They should stop them from collecting a dime. You have a state, go and make your money. If you want a loan, we'll give to you. But you will not sit up in your ASO state's house every month waiting for money from the federal government. The money from the federal government will be used for the healthcare of the country, will be used to solve vital problems of Nigeria.
In which case, the state should be allowed to also explore the resources within their domain.
Of course, who stopped
so that
them?
They can control their resources.
The question I asked, sir, is who stopped Delta State from owning a refinery? Tell me what business Delta State wanted to do that the federal government stopped them. They stopped you from farming. What has which state has the federal government stopped from doing something? Mary, have you heard it?
No.
You know, the coal city, Enugu man. The coal is no more there. The federal government is taking it. Do you know how much you make from coal today? All the black of this television screen you have here now. Look at my laptop. If I raise it up, this is my laptop. All made from charcoal. Charcoal. Is there in Enugu? Who stopped you from doing it? When did the federal government stop them from making granite to sell? When did the federal government stop you from doing? Even tell me one thing. Instead, where the federal government has failed us is not encouraging people like innocent, or not patronizing them, not making those right decisions. If not, the federal government has done no evil other than to eat money. Of course, they are blind. They are not eating it alone. Do you know that now that they said no more oil subsidy, meaning more money comes to the pot of the federal government, that money is shared among the states. Let's be clear. The money Delta State is getting now is because of the increase of the money that comes to the federal government, which is coming from your oil subsidy. Why would they beat Tinubu? Make we know say the process they come to Boriwori. What is he doing with it? You see, we get to be totally honest about this. I ask the only question of this show today is if you state, I want to think outside the box. Now the federal government does not give me a chance. They are not giving me this. Okay. I am going to ignore the federal government. Like the way I say to every Nigerians now, we are ignoring the federal government and we begin to do our own business. What is stopping Oboriwori? You see, if Oboriwori get money today, is constructing roads. Mona quote me, Mary, if our state governor get money today, infrastructure. Bogus one, oh, infrastructure. If they don't know, and because you know why they can do that, Mary? There's money coming next month. If there's no money next month, this one when I get now, I go maintain am. I go think how I will invest and get more. This culture is what need to stop now, not tomorrow, now. You will not get money next month. Every state government in Nigeria will not get money next month. You see that stupid one they call local government? The only reason they are fighting to be local government chairman. It's not because they're going to do anything so they can get allocation. And pack sand on the road. That culture must stop. Tell me, okay, I bet maybe I'm the one that is sick. Which local government have generated money for themselves? You know one funny thing, my brothers? I saw in Lagos State, a local government, they built housing estate, which they are not selling. Local government in Lagos. And when I saw it, I was clapping. The same Nigeria. How many local government do you have in Delta State? What are they doing? Let us not just begin to look for the excuse from one angle. The fact is, you see, you don't work, you will not get paid. Nigerians they believe that there is a sense of entitlement. Because Nigeria have oil, which they don't know where it's coming from. I know they hate me. Everybody sits on their fat ass waiting for allocation. And it's affecting every sector. Even, do you know, most of the ministries, as I'm looking at them, the foolish ones, maybe they sit at home and expect federal government to bring money. The question I ask them, if I'm the federal government of Nigeria, I've set up ministries, I've got Ministry of Sport, I've got all the stadium built. Everything there, I should still pay you salary. You're joking. So when did I build the stadium? No, if Mbaka, let us look at this thing. No, okay, federal government has built all these universities, all these schools, my people. Every month, the federal government still have to look for money to pay the lecturers. And we are blaming the federal government too. Oh, federal government is keeping up to everything. I refuse to toe that line today. Having retraced our step back, I found out that it is not the federal government fault. I'm going to make it simple. How much is this private investor making, Mary? I'm just about to open a school in England. I know how much a university can make. How much is Uniben making? Uniben is still waiting for salaries from the federal government. Last time I spoke to NTA is still waiting for salaries. Every month, salary will come from the federal government. Why? Is the federal government paying people at channels? Is federal government paying us at SRTV? So if you are federal government, having built the biggest television station in the world, you still take money every month to pay the baggers working there. And they're going to say, oh, federal government not do us well. They don't even work. The idiots are not working. How can we continue to live in the society? The question I always ask is, let me say this. NTA has woken up. BBC, they get little funding from the government as a support. Support. It's not monthly. BBC makes their own money. The federal government have to tell them, the UK government, they gave them only one hope. They're going to take it away from them soon. Everybody in UK pay a kind of television. If you have a television at home, you pay your television rate, which is about 100 and something pounds in a year. All those ones goes to those recognized TV stations. That's what they share. Other than that, that's why they don't do adverts, because they expect them to broadcast news. But the other TV stations like Sky, all those ones, where I'm talking of England now, they're making their own money. The federal government will still pull the plug on the BBC. BBC have hotels, so BBC now have BBC Enterprise. So they are now thinking of how to make their own money from advert. There's no way you cannot establish an NTA. I quote me, and they sit down there waiting every month for federal government. The same way the state governors are waiting, the local governments are waiting, even the ministries. I told them again, it hurts me deeply. The last time I was looking at it, I said, Netflix is making money from Nigeria. So we Nigerian make film, will give it to Netflix. Netflix will sell it to us. The Ministry of Culture cannot see that potential. No, why? You know why? Because money is coming from the federal government. Every month, big money they land there. You see, how can the Nigerian money be used well? If it's using the money to fund things that shouldn't be fund, that are already established. Oh, if you open a business, Mr. Mbaka, you build a university, very standard university like Uniben, and every month these lecturers are coming to you, we don't have this, we don't have that. Ask them in Abuja, when they call me for money, I shout. I say, go and make your own money. When they come in Asaba, they are scared. The kids are afraid to talk to me. Why? Because I ask them, can't you make money? Because it's biting me. Nobody's. Oh, you know the Nigeria. I'm crying for Nigeria. I'm not crying for Nigerians. So I'm crying for Nigeria. We're raping the motherland. The land is crying because we are sucking this land. We are sucking it. Look at when Okowa became a governor. Look at him today. Look at where everybody came from to become a governor. Look at him today. Look at Obasanjo. Look at him today. What is going on? What kind of country is this? It's not only the. I'm saying everybody, even the civil servants. You go to work today. If they ask them what did they do, nothing. Some people now melon, now they go break for that local government. Melon, women won't go break melon. So when they finish the melon, they go and cook at home. No, we don't do that here, sir. If you don't come to see people working in local government here, they work. Because the local government are making their own money. If they don't make money, who's going to give them? Who's going to give them? The federal government take on initiative that basic education should be free. So they spend that money on basic education. Children go to school will be well paid. Schools should be run properly. But even some people still have their own private. But that one is, they look at the health of the nation. They look at these people at the future. If we don't give them this right beginning, it's going to be risky. Parents might have this. So the child belongs to the state. We'll take care of the child. Your health as a person, the country will take care of you so that you can live well. Other than that, you want the federal government to do everything for you? No, I disagree. I know before I talk, they're going to tell me what the government is doing wrong. The question today is that, you know why it is so sad? I cannot even talk without calling on Niger, that Niger state. The land of Niger alone is bigger than the whole of the east. You know that? Only Niger state in land, the landscape of Nigeria, is bigger than the east, the entire eastern Nigeria. Go and look at our map. And it's bigger than Holland as a country. Only Niger state. Holland makes 200 billion from export of agricultural produce every year. 200 billion. When Nigeria not get, we go to Holland to borrow money. Niger people are going to bed hungry. Is it the land they don't have? Answer is no. Is it the human being they don't have? The answer is no. What is stopping What is stopping Niger State from making money? Or federal government stop Niger State from making money? It must be the fault of federal government. The Niger State is not making money. My brothers and sisters, this is a call. Mashak, this is a call for help. The continental conference is come, it's not there now. Good luck, yeah, your president refused to sign it. He was a coward. He didn't sign it. I said it, sir. Good luck. You are a coward. But now, let's put that aside. Now it's time for the current governors to do what they need to do. For our local government to rise to the challenge. You don't need one federal government to make one law. For you to know that I'm a local government chairman, I need to do what I need to do. I need to make money in my place. You are the number one citizen of the local government. What are you doing, for God's sake? If the money come, the opportunity is not all gone, no? Because there's still money coming. You know, the question is, what do they do with the money? That's the man. Why I cannot sleep. The money that come to Delta State today now, this month, tell me what they don't do. They don't spend that on road construction. Because you know why? There's more coming. That is our story. This is what we are writing down for the future generation. This is what we're doing to our children. When we blame Buhari and all of them, we must ask ourselves, Mr. Oborewori, what are you building for your children? Because we're going to go soon. Somebody made a very beautiful analysis on this show today. Those crops that will stay long, rubber, coconut, they don't grow in 1 year and you reap it in that year. It takes years. But children upon children upon children will go and they will see. You go to Badagry today, the coconuts are still there. They're not going to go away. These are the work of some parents, ancestors. We're going to be the most wicked, greedy generation Nigeria ever produced. We talk about Awolowo today. Awolowo did his best. What can you write of this current generation? What have they planted? In the midst of this prosperity, in the midst of oil well, bringing money, what have they planted? This is the call for help. It's sad. When I think along that line, it's okay, I couldn't blame the federal government here. In fact, maybe we need somebody to control Nigeria from outside. Look at where you see Tinubu going to go and beg France, go and beg America. Anything they do, they go there and beg. Whereas you are the architect of your own misfortune. Tell me what Tinubu cannot produce in Nigeria. Why is he begging? Give me one reason why Tinubu will ever beg for one thing. Technology we will pay. In those days, like I said, if Nigeria begin to do the right thing again, expatriates will come. We will enjoy the intellectual capability of all component, all the things we have in the world. They will come. Why is Chinese coming? Why the people that taught me, in my secondary school, my teacher, my additional mathematics was Mr. Shenjahan. He's from India. The guy that taught us chemistry, Joseph John. My classmates are watching me now. They were not Nigerians. Meaning, when your country is growing, you begin to attract intellectuals from around the world to build your own nation. Now it's the opposite way now. All the little ones we train, the two medical doctors, they are going out. And we're blaming who? There's no culture in Nigeria. There's no government. No, it's not a society yet. If we want to start, we need to start. That's why I put this topic today. Let us regenerate Nigeria. Regenerate Nigeria, not the politics, not the corruption. I don't even want to hear that. I want to see how we can begin to produce our own thing again. And that sense of independence, Delta State must be independent. My local government, you see, I come from Ethiopia West. You see me, I'm talking. Akpa, you must be independent. I'm really angry. Because what you are doing is not affecting you alone. It's going to affect my children. And if I don't talk for them now, who's going to speak for them? If I don't speak for my children, who's going to speak for them? My children will ask me tomorrow, but what will you put doing when all this thing will happen? In Sambaka, Engineer Masha, if children ask us tomorrow, what did we do when all this thing will happen? What will we say to them? We were too
We will
afraid.
tell them, say Nigeria do us.
We not we do the Nigeria. And the people that I met, in those days, a child will expect his father to be able to fight and defend him. When you get Papa when he defend you, that's not the Papa again. When you see your papa come, yes, say, my dad is here. You know how a child believe when Papa don't come, they know they are covered. It's like we couldn't defend our children. We need help. Serious help. It's 2 hours into this broadcast. What are we doing here? Let us close today. We're going to continue this topic on Monday. We need to regenerate Nigeria. I think we need to do that. We need to regenerate Nigeria. And we'll not look at every other area. Only regenerating the education sector. We're going to focus on each of the sectors and see where Nigeria can be. We need to regenerate. In fact, this regeneration we're talking about, we're still looking at politics. Yes. But why would a parastatal in Nigerian government still be waiting for federal government? Ministry, tell me one ministry that cannot make money. Even Ministry of Agri, federal government still pay them. Ministry of Agri that's supposed to pay federal government still pay their salary. Oh, look at how beautiful the best TV station, with the widest reach in the world is NTA in Africa. Federal government pay them. Have you been to our stadium? After building that place, I said I visited I was with the manager of the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja, the best in the world. In fact, when it was built, they copied everything from the UK. Water was dropping from that man's office. He has a drum there, and he was sitting down there, shaking leg. I came there to use the place for my show, and I was looking at this food. Water is dropping from this edifice, and you did nothing about it. He gets federal government salary every month. We need to stop. Delta State, you are not qualified to get a dime from federal government. You want allocation, it will be given to you. And you will not get it every month. Your allocation will come once in every 6 months. For the building of your state, which is your wealth, which your people will, in fact, it shouldn't be going to the federal government. It should be going to the state government. Because we need to know how much is coming in. Do you know today they don't tell us how much is coming? Maybe that's why we are not even angry enough. If I know how much is entering my local government, I'm going to ask that man when they send my chairman, where's the money? Do you know how much comes to your local government? I don't know. Maybe you guys know. And what did they do with it? All you hear is they construct roads. The only thing I've ever heard from these fools, I went to I was in the, when they tell me, when they give me a report here, don't you see? They are constructing roads. There's light now. There's street light. Can you imagine? That is why you are in government. To construct street light. No. Robo say, Robo man need something. When Robo man don't tire, I say, Robo man go say, I need something. When Robo say, let me say, the thing don't pass out. I need something, and we I just don't know. I just sometimes when I sleep, when I come up with this topic today, my mind was saying, okay, we are trying to talk about solve a problem. I'm happy. Engineer Macha Kule said one thing that stopped me. That all these things were in the Continental Conference, the confer that we had submitted to Goodluck, which Goodluck did not sign. That's the politics of it. But the ingredient of that confer, can't we implement it? Is it not a written paper? Maybe those that went there should read it out for us. If what I'm saying today is there, read it out. Let the state work with it. Because I don't think it's something that was going to be binding on the state or on the federal government alone. It's going to be for everybody. That's why you see all the northern states sit on their fat ass. They don't want Nigeria to break. Of course, they don't want anything to happen to the constitution because that's where their money is coming from. It's all about the money. Nobody hates each other here. It's like you see the Bible. I'm going to end this show with this. The Bible gave us a story. When I read the Bible, it's different from where other people read. Of a story of a man who has three children or three servants. He was going to go on holiday. He gave them equal amount of money. I'm going. When I come back, do what you have to do with it. When the man returned, one came to him and said, "Oh, the money I had, you gave to me. I've been able to do something with it. It has multiplied." What did the man do? The man was happy with him. Nigerians, I'm talking. So you know whether God is happy with you or not. He called the other one. The other one said, I couldn't make, I did it, I did invest, I got half. The man was not angry. The last one, which is Nigeria, Africa. He said, you know, say now where now where you not work, now then you dey earn. I kept the money, this is your money. We could not even give God what God has given to us. We are not even giving God what God has given. Look at the rest of the world. They are flying. And you said they know God more than you. You know God more than them. You go to church or mosque every Sunday. God will bless those people. Did this say God said to them, the man did not thank them for any kind of loyalty. It's what you did with the resources given to you. My question is, what have you done with the resources given to you? Mr. Delta State, Mr. Edo State, Mr. Anyama State. What have you done with the resources given to you? That's my question. Nigeria, if God will ask us today, what he has given to Nigeria, he didn't give it to other people. In fact, the oil, all the things in Nigeria, other people didn't have it. Those people are doing well. They've given God more for getting less. And we that got all, we're telling God, you never give us rich. When they go to church, they go disturb them every Sunday. Tomorrow now, look at the whole places. Making a stupid noise, disturbing the same God. If you dare go to church tomorrow and disturb God, don't you dare. The man is tired of you. I rest my case. My people, hold on verse. It got to a place I think I lost. Because I don't understand this. Tomorrow now, I know Mbaka, I know Mbaka must go to church tomorrow. I know you go to church, sir. Go and disturb God for what he has given to you. You're disturbing the man. Tell me what God has not given to you. That's the thing, I'm confused. Nigeria, what do you want that God has not given to you? That God gave to other people and didn't give to you? If I gave you more, tomorrow you are disturbing him again for more. Hey, America used what God gave to them. China used what God gave to them. You know what the Bible said? What you have, what the man, the ones that didn't have, the one that didn't use it, it was taken from you and was given to the one that used the money well. Today, Chinese is going to come and cultivate our land, make our cassava and sell it to us again. That's the punishment you get when you don't cultivate your land. Go and read your Bible. What I said today is biblical. Don't disturb my God tomorrow. Do not dare. God is not there to be used. Why did God create you? So that you continue to disturb him? God created you so that you will cultivate the land. So that you will do. He has stopped creating. So that you will create. The man that he created you so that you create. Now you're not creating. On Sunday, you're going to disturb him. On Friday, those of you disturbed him yesterday. The man is tired of you. Wake up. I said it. I said God is tired of you. Ask yourself when you go to your room. Tomorrow, guys, oh God, you will sing and dance, disturb the poor man, he can't even rest. Noise of Nigerians who let God to rest tomorrow. Noise. They say they are praising him. Praising him. You are asking him for something. You didn't go there, you are disturbing the man. For all the things they have done for you, it's not enough. He gave you oil, he gave you land, he gave you the best land, he gave you human beings. They are quiet now. In Jesus' name. Now, no one follow me, do amen. I will say amen. Baka, I know you're tired of me, guys. Let's are you still with me in the studio, Asaba? You know you guys I have left now.
Yeah, we are right here.
Okay. But I know I've been ranting and ranting. This last part I know is not very sweet, but that's what God said I should say, and I've said it. Don't disturb him tomorrow. I'm begging Nigerians. Stop disturbing him tomorrow. If you guys can just do that, I'll be happy. You're not praising God, you're disturbing him. Anytime you go to the church, ask yourself, are you going there not to ask God for something? What has he not done for you? Why are you disturbing him tomorrow? If you go there to just praise him tomorrow, I hear. Now waiting God want to do for you. I fire out. Anyway, I end my show there. I end my case. And I want to thank you guys for joining me. We'll be here for 2 hours, 15 minutes. This is the highest we've been on this show. It's not fair on us. So I don't know how we got here, but it is what it is. Engineer Bashak, you're going to be part of us full time. Everybody got to be in this game together. We're going to embark on the journey to pass important messages to Nigerians, and we're going to say it as it is. They're not going to like us, no matter. But we need to. We owe our generation this. Like you rightly said, and I want to put it that way: for evil to exist, righteous men are busy doing nothing. The evil existing in our land is because righteous men are sleeping. And when you take yourself out of the equation, because now I'm able to say what I say because I have no stake. I have nothing to benefit. I'm not afraid of any politician who's going to give me contract. Maybe because I'm far away. So I don't give a damn. And number two, sorry guys, you guys are there. They can't get to me. So I can make my mind here. I can say it as it is. But I can't blame anybody in Nigeria who's not saying it, who is afraid. But the question I'm going to ask as we leave this show today, one and no verse, make I take PG ask una for data. Since Oboriwo will become governor, the money when they collect seats, what they can do when we say tomorrow children go fit get and take it. We said something today. It's easy to plant today food though. You plant cassava now, 6 months you reap it. But the coconut, if you go to Badagry, you see all those places there. And you've been in Delta State, there's no any of those fruit again. Anything that will stay for years to grow, it's no more in Delta. You don't have robbers anymore. You don't have palms anymore. You don't have, of course, you don't have coconut. Now only pawpaw, because pawpaw go plant and tomorrow it don't come. That will they eat for Delta State. No mango. Mango cure fever. Because the legs has been there for years. Those days, when you got problem with malaria, you go and peel the skin. Because the skin go not cool. That make can defeat the cure fever. Not be today mango the cure fever. Where are they in the land? Is your governor planting mango? Or he's planting, or he's like cocoa? You want to have a bank that will generate money, or you want to set up a hotel that will bring money. Today. Tomorrow, we're going to disturb God instead of disturbing him. The problem we have is now, but what is our problem? We not talk to them. They go disturb God tomorrow. That's what I'm saying today. That's the end of this show. God tomorrow na Sunday. Your governor that is raping you, you don't go disturb him. He's a good man. Tomorrow you're going to church to disturb God. What did you ask God to do? God to come and kill a body for you. It's a question. It's a cry for help. Engineer Mashak. Let's close the show because today like this we're not going to be close. Let's end the show here. Like I said, we're going to continue this topic on Monday. It gives everybody time to think on what we have done today, and whatever. I'm not going to pick up next Sunday Monday show. You guys going to pick it up, and I'm going to join it. But this I think if we can actually spend time on, even if we go in detail how the Greek was then, and then the possibilities then, what they did then, our forefathers, and now with the new technology and with the new population, what we can do to make Greek the number one business in Nigeria, maybe that would be a way to go. Only first start with Greek. Like I said, today we have young people, more people, population of Nigeria has grown. meaning more possibility for the sport. How about a competition? We don't even have a good premiership. They've used the word premiership. I don't know why everything we do must copy out Nigerian premiership. If English na premiership, we don't get another name for our own. The way they go do what we say our own and Hollywood, no problem. We could say with a copycat. But are we doing it that way? That we cannot do one thing and succeed as a people? Are we lesser human beings? Is this same? Is this brain? Not that we say Nigeria, we are very brain people. Brain, yeah, you can't make money. I said to lecturers when I got there, I said, you are intellectual, but you can't make money. You cannot convert your knowledge to money. What kind of intellect do you have? In those days, when they were teaching us in school, they teach us how to do show. We say, no, teach us show business. Anything you do and you cannot monetize it, you be a bar. Groundnut, now will go chop you. Let's end the show there today. On Monday, we will continue. Let's have a beautiful weekend. This is too long. Daddy Chris has been talking, disturbing my people in the studio. Let's close today. And we'll do this again on Monday. Thank you very much for joining me. I trust you guys. I know when we meet, I will try and leave the show on Monday so that there will be peace. I'll come back on Tuesday so that Daddy Chris will not pollute the air. So that people will still watch us. Thank you very much for joining me today. Until Monday, when we meet. And to those of you out there, this is what we do. We try to analyze the Nigerian problem. I will continue until there's a solution. And maybe when we're done with Nigeria, we're going to see Africa as a whole and begin to talk how the world can be a better place. Because we say, I'm of the opinion that what is going on even in the Palestinian is rubbish. Human beings are busy building weapons, not finding cure to our diseases. That's why we are still dying. No, God did not create us to die. Again, you guys are not thinking about that one. Tomorrow, the world is going to disturb God in the church. We do this. What are you asking? God said his kingdom has come. Is the kingdom of God yet to come or it's already here? That's the question for those of you that go to church. That's why I end the show. I cannot go to that one now. I will be stabbed. I stop here. I'll see you on Monday. God bless you from Asaba. Asaba, stay out of trouble, guys. God bless. Bye for now.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. Nigeria Week London 2025 is coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria. It's partner. SRTV. Innovative content. Global audience.